All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. When the Charagma gets made mandatory, right, I was thinking about this. When the Charagma gets made mandatory, a lot of people's pride is going to be drained out of them, man. Because as it stands right now, people have got pride, right? People have got like a lot of high self-worth, even though it's undeserved, man, because they haven't achieved nothing to be regarding the Lord anyway, in order to have the pride levels that they have, right? But there's a lot of people that are walking around with a lot of pride right now, and they're thinking that they're invincible, and they're trusting in themselves. But when that Charagma gets made mandatory, right, when that CHIP gets made mandatory, and it's going to be a thing pushed on the earth, but where you have to take it or lose your life, a lot of people are going to lose a lot of their pride, man. Right now, let me get a scripture on this. The hour of temptation. Where is that? This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the world. Now, we believe, right, Israelites believe that hour of temptation, right, or the Israelites that I follow anyway, which is Great Millstone, the apostles, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ariam, Apostle Vakar, and all the other men underneath them that teach the same stuff. We believe that hour of temptation is the time where the world is forced, everyone on the earth is going to be forced to take a CHIP in their body, right? And with death being a punishment if they don't do that. But the elect of the nation of Israel are going to have faith unto death. So they're either going to be beheaded like the prophecy say in Revelation 20 and 4, or Yahweh's going to give them a way to escape having to go through that. Right? This is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he calls of all, this is everyone on the earth that's going to go through this, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So a rich person that's got pride because they're rich, they're going to be faced with this situation. So then when they take this, they're going to know that every single transaction that they do from that point on is going to be tracked, and they're going to know that at every single point after that, their wealth is going to be at risk if they don't comply with certain things, man. A poor person that doesn't have anything is going to know that they're, in order to be able to even get the necessities that they struggle to have at the moment, they might have to bow down and do this, and it's going to cause for everybody's pride to be drained away, man. Free people, it mentioned free people here, they're going to be at risk of becoming bond people, and bond people, in order to try and get their freedom, are going to want to try and get that. They're going to they're going to have that fear. Well, how am I going to take it then? Right? People that are small in the world, that don't have no status, might be given a kind of situation where they feel like they can become better if they take it. And great people might have the fear that they're going to lose their stature in the world, their standing in the world if they don't take it, man. So every single person on the earth is going to be faced with a situation that's going to hit at some way the pride that they have, man. Small, great, let me read it again. And the cause of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that word for mark is charagma, which means an insertion or a cutting in the flesh. Which is why we also believe further that it's definitely the CHIP, which can clearly be used to buy and sell, and clearly is fitting in with this digital cashless CBDC biometric world that is being brought forth. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So that's what we're saying. But this world don't believe that these will do that, man. Even though the majority of these weak, frail people, right, stuck something in their bodies 3 times, man. 3 times. And some 4, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was a 4th too. Some people did that. But then they think that they did that when they didn't need to. But then they're going to have the bottle to not take a CHIP when it means you might die. Like, that's not a thing to say that everybody that took that is gonna take the charagma, but it's a sign that they're more than likely to. because they already showed themselves to be weak once. Now some people are gonna have been in a situation where they realize, okay, I was weak then, and the next time I won't be weak, right? But a lot of them have already shown what they're down with, man, because their fear or their love for wanting to be able to buy and sell, for them to want to be able to go on holiday, has made them do this for the glory that they have in themselves, man, for their love of the world ultimately, which Yahweh tells us not to love the world, right? The scriptures tell us, don't love the world, neither the things that are in the world, man. This is 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away and the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of God abideth forever. So this society that people are going to be trying to take the Charagma to be a part of anyway is going to pass away. So if you're wise, you're going to know that and you're not going to take it. But if you're unwise, you're going to love the world and you're going to take it, and you're still going to be destroyed anyway. So it's better to lose your head for not taking it and come back into the new world that Yahweh is going to create, redeemed, than to take it and get destroyed and come back with shame. It's better to do that, man. But the average person cannot believe that this would ever happen. They actually think that they're so righteous that they would never be put in that situation because they've got such good works. No. Yahweh Shai didn't do anything wrong in his whole life. The Messiah didn't do nothing wrong in his whole life, and he still had to die. So if he had to go through death, then why would it be that we wouldn't have to potentially face that too? Are our works better than Yahweh Shai's? No, they're not. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 4, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, meaning people are going to be beheaded, and for the word of Yahweh, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with a Mashiach 1,000 years. Now, people don't believe that this could happen, man, because people have lived a very pampered lifestyle, right? People have lived a very pampered and delicate, luxurious lifestyle in the world, and a world as they've lived in a way by where you can kind of pretty much do whatever you want to do for most part, man. If you live in a big city, you can pretty much at any time in the day have hot food cooked fresh delivered to your house, right? You can pretty much go to a drive-through anywhere. You've got supermarkets with like 20 to 30 different variations of each product. There's like 30 different types of bread that you can buy, 30 different types of peanut butter, 20 different types of honey, 40 different types of water, different variations from different bottles, right? Different types of meat and all of this. There's just variations of all these things where people have just think that they've always got a choice, and they don't believe that the government's going to give a situation where there's only two choices. Take it and live, but they still might deceive you anyway. That don't mean they're going to feed your ass if you take it. They might say, yeah, take the Charagma because they want you to go against Yahweh, and after you take it, they might still put your ass to death anyway. So it's better to not take it because Esau is not trustworthy. He made all these people take this injection in their body, and they don't know what was in there. And these people are still trying to justify that decision in their mind, man. That was weak to do, man. And we understand that people can be scared, but you shown yourself, if you took that, you shown yourself to be weak once. You shown yourself to be weak and against the Lord, man. And more with what the society is telling you. And the people's excuse will be, oh, that's personal, this, that's personal, that. Yeah, it's going to be personal. It's going to be personal if you take the Charagma. It's going to be personal. Every single person is going to have their own personal situation, but where they're going to have to decide whether they want to take the Charagma. A woman's not going to be able to blame her boyfriend for cheating on her, for why she took that. A man's not going to be able to blame another man, oh, he was mean to me, for why he took it. No one's going to be able to blame nobody else for the reason why they took it, man. And there's a judgment for taking it. And I'm going to read it right now. Everyone's going to have to stand on their own decision, man. Everyone's going to have to make a choice for themselves. Are they going to take that, yes or no? That's what everyone in the world is going to be faced with, man. And when that happens, a lot of people's pride is going to be drained out, man, because the word of that prophecy in particular has been going out. And a lot of people are trying to say it's this or say it's that. But the fact is that regardless of whether you people think that it's the Charagma or not, you have to agree that they're pushing that. in the earth. So what are you going to do when it's put in front of you? Are you going to take it because you think it's not the mark? Or are you going to not take it because you understand and have did research prior to know what it is and how much of a captivity you're going to be in if you do take that? Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And one of the things that's going to cause for a lot of people to be suffering this is because Yahweh is not going to strengthen their spirit in that day. Yahweh is going to be the one that's going to strengthen people in that day to make them have the strength to not take the Charagma. Yahweh is the one that's going to be weakening people in that day to make them take the Charagma. And one of the things that's going to make them be more strengthened is believing what Yahweh is about for real. Trusting in what Yahweh is about for real. Being all the things that the world might try and tell you is offensive. Let's go into some. That Yahweh is racist, right? That Yahweh shows more favor to men than he does to women. Because men are the prophets. Men are the ones that allow multiple wives. Women are not allowed multiple husbands, right? When Yahweh is about all of these things, right? People have got a problem with that. The fact that Yahweh hates, people have got a problem with that. The fact that Yahweh is against LGBT, right? All of these things, man. A lot of offenses that people have. The fact that Yahweh said that a man's supposed to have a beard on his face and a woman's not supposed to be a harlot, meaning that a woman is really supposed to be with one man at a time, man. And if that first man that the woman's been with isn't dead, she's supposed to not be with nobody then, if he's not with her no more. And if she goes with another guy, she's committed adultery, man. She's committed adultery, and she's also caused for the man that she's gone with to commit adultery too. You see? But how this world teaches it, the fact that a man's allowed multiple wives, these are all different things that Yahweh's going to weaken people's spirits in that day because they didn't want to get down with that, man. They had a problem and a grievance with that. So these people have already joined down with the image of this world, and they're against what Yahweh's saying. Yahweh said a man can do these things, but women think they've got the right to try and tell a man that was back then. Now you got to do what I'm saying. No, you've got to either get down what the scriptures are saying or take that Charagma and get destroyed, man. It's not this world thinks it can try and tell men how they're supposed to be, what Yahweh's told a man how he's supposed to be, and people ain't trying to hear that. So they're trying to change the standings that Yahweh made. They're trying to change the statutes and the judgments that Yahweh gave unto men, and they're also trying to change the statutes and the judgments that man gave unto women. Because women are trying to think now that they're not a harlot if they've been with 50 guys, and there's women so far out there. One of the elders put up a video about how one woman slept with 2,000 men. Or 2,000 people in general, which means that she was doing some of that alphabet stuff, man. What have people got to say about that? Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9 again. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture, into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So that's what's getting ready to happen. And there's a lot of people, man. There's a whole bunch of Jehovah's Witnesses that are going to be ending up in that. There's a whole bunch of Christians that are going to end up in that. There's a whole bunch of Islam that's going to end up in that. There's a whole bunch of atheists that are going to end up in there. There's even people that call themselves Hebrew Israelites that are going to end up in that too, because they don't think that it's the Charagma. They don't think that it's the mark. So they're going to take it. And they're going to think that they can get some kind of repentance, but Yahweh's going to lock them in when they take it. It's not going to be a thing by where, oh, I've took it and I'm going to take it out at the end. No. Yahweh's going to lock it in your mind to keep it in you after you take it, man. So that he can fulfill another prophecy regarding it, which let me get it. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast. and upon them which worship the image. So even if you took it and tried to think you can take it out, let's say you was able to do that, that still ain't gonna make that grievous sore not be upon you, is it? Because you took it. Yahweh's gonna put an additional marking on you to let it be known that you took it. That's gonna be that noisome and grievous sore. So that's gonna be another thing that's gonna be external to see, to let it be known to people that you took that, man. Well, people don't think that this is gonna happen. They don't believe that Esau's that crazy, man. They don't believe that a person that was eating slaves, cannibalism, right, cutting meat off them, turning people into wallets, right, wearing their teeth as necklaces, doing madness, knocking their teeth out and force feeding them, book breaking, just selling a boy for a harlot. They don't believe that people that was lynching people, castrating them, you know. They don't believe that people that did that would microchip people. That's light compared to that. To put a chip in people is nothing compared to all those other things I just mentioned. That's nothing. That's nothing, man. But I'm gonna end the lesson there. A lot of people's pride is gonna be drained out of them, and when Yahweh makes Esau make that mandatory, Shalom to the nation of Israel, and all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Rakah Kodash. Shalom.